G'day all our Zukaz and Zukaz members. It's Allan Endresz here, founder of Zukaz and Zukaz. This is podcast number 7 and today's date is the 30th of May 2019, and it gives me great pleasure today to introduce another of our team members, and I have on my left here young Liam Scammell. Liam, I might give our members a bit of a background as to how you fit in.
Yeah,
happy with that?
100%, go for it, yeah.
And just for those that are watching this, just be aware that the good-looking one is on the right, not on the left. So we'll work our way through
You're
that.
Looking sharp today, mate. Fresh
thanks,
haircut,
mate. Appreciate that. Thank
looking
you.
Beautiful.
A little bit of banter here, ladies and gentlemen, because I've known Liam pretty well all his life and the family. So you may recall Pat Scammell, and you'll get to see an interview with Pat at some stage in the future. Pat's our co-founder. Pat's a 2-time Olympian, 1500 metre superstar. And
dual Olympian he likes.
He likes the dual Olympian, doesn't he, your dad?
And not once, dual.
And just a bit of there, you'll see if you look at Pat, certainly he's a 29-time, broke the mile record, is that right?
Yeah, most by any Australian ever. Yeah. He'll tell you, don't worry about that.
Well, the good news is that Liam has decided that his career is not at the Olympics or running, and yours is making money with Zukaz.
That's right.
Is that right?
That's right, spot on. Yeah,
Very good. Well, look, today's a big day for some updates on and Liam's involvement and how we brought him into the team. He works sensational with Matthew, who you've seen the podcast number 6. Liam, just give us a few minutes on how you've involved now with Zukaz and what is your role?
Yeah. So I'm heading up sales and marketing here at Zukaz and working very closely with Matt as well as with the MoWorks team, obviously in Melbourne, who do a lot of our marketing consulting work. So I've been working very closely with them with obviously all marketing activities and also arranging our launch activities as well, which we'll touch on shortly, I'm sure.
Fantastic. Well, I'll go through that. I might bring in this particular podcast just a couple of seconds for those itching to see what's happening with the Zukaz for 1 minute before we delve in. You'll be pleased to know that nearly all of, if not all of our staff and people involved in the business have Zukaz. I know you emptied the piggy bank and put your own money on the table.
Right, certainly did. Came back from Europe pretty poor, but still had to find some room to purchase a few coins. So that's
awesome.
Right.
And look, as you're aware, we're very excited about, as we're getting close, literally to the end of the month. I have been in touch with Rob in the last few days. There has been some quite interesting to and froing going on with UL, just so that you're aware. All positive changes. Probably another few days to a week still out, but Robert's got it in hand, in control, and the product is going to be sensational. In fact, you've probably got more news because you've actually had dinner with Robert the other night.
Caught up with Robbie the other night. So, as you say, been a bit of back and forth between Rob and UL. Just a few little fixes there going on, but a week or so out hopefully, and we'll be off and running. Yeah.
I think one of the things that everybody involved with Zukaz and Zukaz should be aware is that it's an open format, very transparent here, that anybody has access to any of the staff to find out what's happening. It's not like it's at top level control. So we encourage everybody at all levels 100%. To talk direct to either Robert or team members, and of course that makes it a lot easier, so no one's listening to what I have to say. It's all within the team, which is important. So coming back to that now, then the excitement. Now, You've got on your shoulders with Maddie a massive program now. Where are we at and what happens, I guess, with the lead up with the launch? Just give a feel what you're doing.
So, a lot of effort's been going into planning the launch. The app development's getting very close. We'll have the Hunter and Biz app trials to follow that shortly. And then, a lot of effort going into preparing our launch for Albury, which is obviously our proof of concept before we scale. So we've just brought on Tara, an event manager, who's going to be, coordinating all the launch activities. So we met with her yesterday. And
of course, if we fast forward to where we want to be, probably towards the end of July. I mean, the whole purpose of this is that this is a crucial case study that says, okay. As I understand it, you and your team, you were looking at 500 plus merchants, 10,000 hunters, spot on. And that'll be an absolute game changer if we prove that.
Yeah, exactly right. People everywhere. So as I mentioned, the proof of concept here in Albury, and then we'll be looking to tell the story on a national scale, which is where we've engaged Max Markson as our media consultant. We met with Max last week. We've probably heard us speak about Max previously. But Max is now officially on the payroll and actively working and supporting us towards the launch. both into and following on to make the Zukaz story a national headline. So that's what Max is tasked with, as well as looking at talent and speakers, sort of ambassador type roles to coincide with the launch as well. So we're happy to have Max
with Max, for those just to refresh your memory, he's a publicist legend in his own right in Australia, and
he certainly is.
He certainly has shown us that his connections are incredible. It runs all the way through from Bill Clinton, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yep.
These are real friends, in fact, as far as Max is concerned.
100%.
But one of his challenges, as I understand, Liam's been my profile. Has that been a difficult one for you guys?
It has, yeah. Aubrey's favourite son over here, yeah.
So by that I mean it's been a hard 20-year journey for me personally. I've had a lot of background noise in terms of litigation and things that we've been fighting, and it's all about the fight to bring this to the world.
That's right, mate.
We want to bring the Zukaz and the way in which the coins.
That's it.
And just so you know that there's any chatter out there, listen, you know that it's not going to be easy because there's some powerful businesses that don't want this to happen.
Yeah.
We're treading on a few toes. Especially when you think of your merchant firepower capability, that you don't need middlemen, we talk about.
Right. Yep, 100%.
Certainly don't need any involvement with people with coins. That's a revolution in itself.
Yep.
And you can't please everybody, but certainly any queries the team's in regard to anything can come and talk to us at any stage.
Absolutely.
Just throw that out there for everybody so that very transparent here, and what you see is what you get.
Spot on, mate.
Otherwise, these guys would be working with somewhere else. But I think it's pretty exciting, no matter that. But
very
do
exciting,
you think
mate,
Max can fix my background, Lee?
Well, mate, he's one of the greats, as we know.
He said it's the biggest challenge.
The biggest challenge ever. He's had Clinton out here, as you mentioned, Kim Kardashian, but doing your PR, mate, might be the biggest challenge yet.
Well, we'll keep pushing ahead with that. Yeah. Now, in terms of that, one of the things I enjoy in the transition with this young generation, because I've talked about this with Matthew, and you've got other people coming on board, but I threw you in the deep end the other day. Tell the team about what happened there. It was a phone call late at night, and away you went.
That's right. There's probably a couple of things you could be alluding to here, but we're talking wholesale investor?
We are indeed.
Yes, we are. Yeah. So, it was Thursday afternoon last week. I think it was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and the big fella here and Pat, my old man, were driving back to Albury and got a call for a speaking engagement in Melbourne, the wholesale investor, which I think there's generally significant sums paid to speak at those events. And Al normally handles those, but I got thrown the handball out the side and had to pick it up. So it was a bit of a mad rush with the MoWorks team to prepare a presentation for that, but all went well, and certainly had a few inquiries, particularly into the Asian market over the last week or so. So a few meetings which we'll have next week following up. But
well, let me tell you, unbeknown to you, the feedback I got was sensational. Thanks, you did an amazing job. Thanks, so that was awesome.
Appreciate that.
And it's important because it means that the staffing within the organisation, everybody are well attuned to what's happening with the Zukaz and Zucoins. We make sure everybody is up to date and up to speed, which is what I said earlier about talking to Robert. It's easier for you guys to talk direct to Robert than listening to anything that I've got to say. Which means that when you were thrown in the deep end, you were presenting for a few hundred people, very high level people in a number of industries. And the feedback I got was it was very good, very well done. And
thank you, mate.
You put him out of a job, mate, but that's all right. I'm okay with that.
That's all right. The quicker we can get you old boys on the golf course and on the yachts, the better. And Matty and I and the other young ones will pick up the slack. So.
Well, look, in terms of the, you've touched on the strategies. It's going to be a very busy week, weeks leading into the months. I have seen the app, and there is an app. It works, which is awesome. So we're pleased about that. What's your backup that's been happening behind the scenes in terms of Salesforce? What's
Salesforce? So the Salesforce is kicking off on the 3rd of June. So I've got around about 15 people, primarily on part-time, and a couple of full-timers as well. Obviously, with the Albury community being pretty close, there's a lot of warm leads that group will be following up to onboard, as we mentioned, 500 merchants that we're aiming for day one. And then we're having some significant marketing efforts to support the sales team so that the conversations that they're having are certainly warm conversations. They're not coming in cold. People are unaware about Zukaz. So been working with Tony, having a bit of fun, recording the TV ad, which a few people are probably going to see my ugly mug around town across the next 6 weeks. So yeah, certainly television, commercial, will be going out on the 3rd of June, as will radio commercials. Are you struggling to attract new customers? The cost of digital advertising is rising, and the truth is, most ads are ignored. It's time for change. The solution? Zukaz. How does a guaranteed return on every marketing dollar with zero upfront cost sound? How about new customers hunting you instead of you hunting them? Sound too good to be true? It gets better. We're local. Albury-Wodonga, we're at the forefront of a global first. Join us now, Zukaz.com.
Well, I know everybody can see the genuineness and there's a strong family tie and background we've had since you were little. But I might just touch on and close with a little personal front. And you don't know, this worries him, he doesn't see this coming. But you may recall when you're about 12 that I think I can lay claim to giving you some really strong thought processes, and also the ability to withstand, in Australian cricket terms, sledging, criticisms from others. 100%. And that started from a game we played when you were little.
We did, yeah.
And we learned a lot from that. You went on international tour with cricket.
Yep.
But it's held you in good stead, do you think? Was that
has, mate. I think resilience is certainly a very important trait to have in life, and you were at the forefront of building my resilience through a sledging match at age 12.
Well, having armed yourself with that.
Yes.
Now, for those younger members of our young ladies out there that are part of, we've got lots of investors in that age bracket, Liam. There was a rumour that you'd been approached to promote the Zukaz products and sit on Love Island. Is that right?
That is true, Al, that is true. I'm very lucky to have a very lovely girlfriend, Michelle, mate. So
we say hello to Michelle, by the way.
We do say hello to Michelle. Yeah. So I was very quick to turn down the Love Island approach. I think it's totally ridiculous, but Max was pretty keen to get me over there. But no, I'm very, very in love with Michelle.
And I think the issue there was that there was too many other women. But what we're thinking down the road is, as we celebrate the Zucoins smashing through the price barriers, running down Bitcoin, which is our objective, there's no reason we can't send you and Michelle as the only two on a Love Island. You'd be interested in that, wouldn't you?
Well, that'd be all right.
Perfect. Well, mate,
there
we go. So
thanks,
please,
mate.
everybody, fantastic wrap up. We'll keep this going for everybody with new people coming on board for you to see and meet. But fantastic to have you on board, Liam.
Thanks,
really.
Cheers, mate.
Appreciate it.
Fantastic to be here.
Good on you. Cheers.
Thanks, mate.